Thando did say that Siyacela refuses her to have male friends, and she respected him because of indoda yami yonke into Siyacela ayishoyo ngiyayenza. Siyacela nakathi mina ngiyelena mina ngizoya angeke ngizoya abantu kumele ngizoya ngoSiyacela ngoba indoda yami akerila mtsiba thandwa lona etsa dilo tseo sharp.
Yeah.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. I go by the name of Patience Virgo. It's a Patience Virgo on my social media accounts. If you're not following me there, guys, please make sure that you do hit the notification bell, subscribe to everything. I appreciate it, child. Now, Siyacela child. But then again, what is new when it comes to Lumfolo? We all saw the episode. If you haven't, I'm sure you have seen it is the talk of the town. And then again, I'm like, but then it is this Isencane Lengane. This show is always trending. Okay, nothing surprises me anymore. But then the big shocker of it all is the fact that if you watch the latest episode, we learned that Siyacela is now starting or has started to be umurmur towards the wife Uthando. Okay, basically, if you're someone who watched the last episode that we watched, we saw that Siyacela is now back together with Umato, the so-called girlfriend that he said Uthando they're no longer dating. The same girl that he used to say Uthando they're not dating, but say to the girl Uthando is aware, blah blah blah. The last episode we saw that, and then eventually he was like, Umato, I want you back, but then we can go and talk no Thando. You guys can meet, because of Mato was like, I'm tired of your lies. Moving forward, if you want this thing to work, Thando needs to be aware that I exist, okay? Because usually you would say, Thando, I'm not there, I don't exist, but Gimme would say Thando is aware that I'm here. The next thing, me and Thando are having a back and forth. So the last episode we saw Siyacela having, organized a sit down for Thando no Mato, but then things went south when Thando felt like he was tricked into a meeting that he didn't know anything about, whereby he was now, without her consent, put in a situation where she has to face Isai Chiki Kamuntu. Of course, things went left. They got into a whole back and forth of situationships, throwing drinks, and that's where it ended. Okay, and they left to Siyacela. That was the last episode. Chigi, this one we are like shuke. We would say, what's a qua? What happened? Like, good people, okay? But then I'm like, I'm not shocked, child. I would be lying if I would say I'm shocked. I'm shocked. I am not. It was written from day one. Siyacela is very much the abusive type. He is, guys, he is. We've all seen it in how he talks, in how demanding he is, the ridiculous rules that he has for Uthando. Not even mention the fact that Uthando Velenje, she did not see anything wrong with how Siyacela is going on about, I don't want you to do this, I don't want you to have friends, I don't want you to talk to so. The fact that he's also been someone who's very, very much disrespectful towards abazali baka Thando and his elders, like that child, he's a disaster in the making, okay? It's a disaster in the making, okay? So for me, I would say the abuse long started in this relationship. Whether this is the first time now that everyone is so shocked that Siyacela got to a point whereby he murdered Uthando. Basically, what happened is that after the situation of them meeting Nomato and all of that, when I saw this show trending, I thought maybe they had a fallout when they got home. Maybe Thando was angry that Siyacela introduced her to his shy cheeky. Maybe that's where the whole fight came about. Can't you know? Nope, good people, no. What had happened was that when they got to the motel or wherever, Thando is saying that she received a call from a friend, okay? And then when Siyacela asked her, where did this friend of yours? Mind you, it's a girl, this friend. It's not even a guy or anything. Siyacela asked Thando, where did this friend of yours get your cell phone number from, and Thando said something like, I once called her using my mom's phone or her relative's phone so that they can give her a message so that she can call me, something like that, okay? But then Siakela took Thando's phone, called the girl and asked the girl, girl, where did you get in number Thando? And then girl said to Siakela, Thando ki buzzed me or something. That's it. And apparently somehow that was reason enough for the mighty Siakela to go and slap the mooring out of Uthando, gish gish, simply because of he saying that the stories are not making sense. Guys, is it really that deep? His problem is that they are lying, they're taking him for a fool. It's not even that big of a lie, or I don't even think Thando was lying. It's one of those things, guys, like you don't even remember detail, and it's not even that deep. It's a friend, for crying out loud. But you see, the issue here is that their stories are not corresponding. Ugel is saying that she got number Thando from Thando buzzing her. Thando is saying that I once called Ugeli about using my mom's phone or a relative's number phone, something like that. But that is the issue we are saying. Why? He has abusive syndrome tendencies, right? They isolate you first, of which he is doing. Then when Thando shared that Siakela moored the hell out of her, I thought Siakela would be like on some it's not like that, blah blah, but baby boy straight up owned that shit. He owned it. He was on some, yes I did, because of that disrespecting me. The stories are not storing. Okay, and another thing he is saying is that he does not want Uthando to have friends. Thando did say that Siakela refuses her to have male friends, and she respected him because of indoda yami yonke into Siakela ayishoyo ngiyayenza. uSiakela makathi mina ngiyelena, mina ngizoya, angeke ngizoya abantu, kumele ngizoya ngoSiakela ngoba indoda yami. Akerila mtsiba Thando lona ayitsadilo zeo sharp. Siakela even confirmed it and said, I do not want her to have friends, okay? Not only male friends, even girlfriends. Literally, Thando is not supposed to have friends. According to Siakela, he is saying that Thando is only meant to have if she is bored and she wants friends. She has her family. Her friends should be her family, her sisters, her cousin, Nana. She does not need friends or anything. Thando is even on some WhatsApp, I don't have nantontoni, I just buy my phone so that I can take pictures of my, like, guys, that whole relationship is so toxic and unhealthy. When I tell you, child, that I am not shocked, child, that Siakela is Uswazinega, guys. I think I've always had the thing yokutin dala waqala man. If you someone who has dealt with an abuser or has seen an abuser, whether it's someone who had abused you, if you've been abused personally, or have been in the presence of someone who's in a abusive relationship, you know how these things work, man. They all start with them isolating you from people, controlling who you talk to, where you go, all in the name of love. And you, as a person who is in love, you give on to those things because you feel like, if I do what my man wants, then it shows him that I respect him, I listen to him, I obey him. Indoda yami what kanti no, they want you all to themselves. And because of Bonake, he's the highest disfavor of the favors of the favorism nation, Usiakela. Just like vele those favorism of the favors Bobabana. When they isolate you so that they can have the whole cake of fabbing to themselves, while you are sitting here start being made to be looked like a Popeye and a fool in the presence and in the name of live in Dutayami. This is what we are seeing here. Now the nation is all in a whole mess of blaming Mojalove, telling Uthando where to get off, that she should leave this guy, and I'm like, yeah, you guys are right, she should leave this guy, but she will never leave Usiakela, guys. She will never. The fact that we even saw on this episode that even when Thando was like, I would not date a man who beats me, don't, I want us to be over and done with, and Siakela was like, okay, it's okay, we can break up, because of his pride was still talking and don't, and then Thando left or wherever. The next day or 2 days later, first one, Thando is wherever, Siyacela decided to take a card from Tana le grant because she knows very well that Thando needs it. Okay, so I'm like, one classical tendency of abusers. Okay, a person will say it's fine, you can go, I'm okay with us breaking up, but then they'll make sure that they take all the little supplies that they know that you need, so that you can still come back, even though they act like they don't care that you're leaving, but they take somehow something, even like when you're in a relationship of where you are being fully supported by a man and you decide to say, you know what, I'm heartful of this, I am leaving your ham, and then be like, no, hamba, it's okay, fine, but then jig the person will still ask you, what are you going to use for transport to go because of your ham? And then you're like, and then he's like, make a plan, Mos. It's not like I need to tell your hamba, so make a plan. That time he knows very well you can't make another plan. Okay, he's saying leave, but he knows that you won't leave because of you need him. That's why most of the time, it's very, very much important to have your own independence as a woman. Even if you are in the most healthiest and lovable relationships of all times, shit happens, people change, things change, and even if things don't change, you need to be fully independent as an individual, so you can always have your voice, so that you don't always tolerate certain things in the name of I need to calculate certain moves. I can say this here and not say this here because of I depend on this person for Isencane. Anyway, we are not there. Suddenly, Thando has left. He comes, he goes to Thando. He's now apologizing on how sorry he is for beating Thando, for murring her. Thando, I love you. I'm so sorry. Thando is like, are you still going to do it again? I can't be with a man who beats me. Blah, blah, blah. I'm your punching bag. And you can see when Thando is saying all these things to Siyacela, she ain't done with this guy, okay? I know a done woman when I see one. Ladies, we know, even men, human beings, you know a done person. They don't even have a time of the day to listen to you when you're on some sorry. That is a done person. But as long as you still give umuntu an ear, the person you claim that you're done with an ear, you all know this is far from over, guys. It's far from over. Suddenly, Siyacela is now crying. Baby boy, bega destroyer, it's here, destroying tears. One time he's sorry, blah blah blah. Thando, as usually, she falls victim for Siyacela's sorriness and fake crocodile tears. And guess shame, I can't even say she falls victim. She's in love. It's a whole process, this thing, guys. It's so easy to judge, okay, from the outside. It's a whole process, okay, but it's very much disturbing. And then when they have their diary sessions, he's saying that he's apologizing to Thando, he is sorry, right? And then after that, he's still continuing to say that if a person does not listen to me, I'm going to discipline them. No one's going to tell me how to discipline my woman. At the end of the day, Thando is my woman. She's my wife. People won't tell me. And if I don't like something, I discipline it. The same person who just apologized to Thando that I won't do it again, simply because of Thando said, what happens if you hit me again? And then Siyacela said, I won't do it again. It won't happen again. I made a mistake. I'm sorry. It's the same person who still continues to say, if someone does not listen to me, I have to discipline them. Meaning what? He's still going to do it. He is still going to do it. He's still going to. He's that type of guy who definitely believes in disciplining a woman. Yeah. I don't know why, but was a disciplinary parliament, but he's that guy. So now everyone is shocked, everyone is complaining, everyone is blaming Mojalove. This show has always been a call for consent for me, that is personally, from the first day that I saw it being aired. As the name says, Isencane Lengane, okay? When I learned that how in the whole country of South Africa, where we know there's certain things as AG, right age, legal, illegal age, how do we get a show where we see, what is this? Two kiddies meals getting married, a whole 16-year-old and a 17-year-old getting married, and the nation was here for it. No one saw anything wrong with that. Of course, we can't choose people's lives, but the fact that it had a whole TV production and no one saw anything wrong with it, for me it was already a call for concern. How are we now as the public now watching this thing? Like, what is going on like isenza kanjani. But then I'm like, maybe angazi simply, maybe culture get excuses certain things when it comes to abantu bashadana, and I guess because of boy 2 they were still underage, siyacela 17 Thando 16, there's nothing we can do. No one is statutory tontoning anybody. They are both of the same age but they are underage. It didn't make sense. It was already a red flag from the get-go. Okay, and then we see how Siyacela also mistreats Uthando's parents. That boy is a whole nother mess. Okay, and now we have reached a point whereby he is now daylight on national TV saying that yes, yeah, he did more Uthando, and you can see with him does not even see anything wrong with it. He's telling us that the footy, no one is going to tell him how to deal with his woman, and then we have to believe Utini. We did not see this coming or whatever. My thing here is, I don't think this is the first time Siyacela is mooring Uthando, okay? Even Siyacela, he keeps on saying that this was his first time mooring Uthando. If it is, then this is the first of many. One. Secondly, Thando did say a while back, Siyacela has, moored her before. What he did was he had once asked to Uthando uthini makadonose so that he can asebenzise ibhande amshaye marahu, and then but he keeps on saying it's the first time. Okay, and then I'm like, guys, abuse is not only physical, it's also emotional. But at the end of the day, we can rush all we want to cause havoc and talk. At the end of the day, even the Mojalove, we know industry injani, guys, it's always the paycheck, the view more than morals. If you still think that the production of a TV or anything, even the news where we get indaba straight, there's no longer such a thing as immorals or in it's now all about the numbers. Come with me, the numbers, the views which bring the coin, okay, and that is that. Okay, so you can blame Mojalove wherever you want, but at the end of the day, bona, they are a business. Where are the morals? Where are the tontoni? They can act like they have them, but we all know how this game works at this point. Okay, so now it's only a matter of, at the end of the day, this whole drama of Siyacela and Thando will only end when Thando decides to leave. Until then, it will always be a drama. This relationship is toxic, and Thando is also part of the blame because she is babying Siyacela, and on top of that, shame, we can still say usasemncane futhi, okay. Definitely she was not meant for umshado at this age, guys. Who is ngathi usinyisa thina sibadala kanje umshado, what more when you're that age? One. Secondly, I don't see this being a happy ending, okay? And no matter how much we rasi, no matter how much we complain, even if you are someone who knows Uthando personally, you can tell her all the glories of the world as to why she needs to leave this toxic situationship. She will never leave until she is ready to leave, okay? The only thing for us now, it's a matter of, when you're dealing with someone who's in a abusive relationship or a toxic situation, guys, we all know this. If you've been there or have dealt with someone like that, you can advise. Even God himself can come down to earth and talk to them face to face and tell them how they should be leaving this person, and they won't. They'll only leave when they are ready, okay? You can only hope it eventually gets to a point whereby she leaves, okay, while she is still sane, okay, or she leaves asaphila, because of, in most cases, situations like this, each time it escalates. We saw how Siyacela was handling this thing of always being verbally. Now he's on there. And on there, it always starts lighty, whereby you have to buhoza umuntu with the mpama. Next thing, you must landa the panga. Next thing, you must landa the aini. The level needs to keep on getting higher and higher because of your, like, I clapped, it didn't work. I landed the panga, it didn't work. I landed the iron, it didn't work. I boiled the kettle, it didn't work. Next time you need to bomb the whole house, you understand? So each time, the scales of the abuse need to keep on going higher, okay, until eventually it gets to someone being 6 feet at losing. You dig? That's how it normally always ends, okay? In cases like this, we always pray and hope the person can eventually decide to leave heartful before it even gets there, because the more they stay, the higher the chances are of them signing the death certificate. It is like that, guys. It is like that. So I understand why this whole episode would have caused a roar, but same time, I'm not surprised that Siyacela is that type, guys. It is honestly not a shocker to me. It isn't. I don't see it being a shocker, guys. He's been like this. And some are saying that the public has the power. We shouldn't be watching this thing because of we give it the power by watching it. Same time, even if you don't watch it, it is all over here on your face because we are also glued to a drama. Some are blaming Mojalove. Like I said, come what may, it will always revolve around Utando needs to put herself first and decide to leave and take Umtan. She won't be the first woman divorcing with a whole child and stuff. But this is a whole mess and a disaster. And the one thing that made people even get more irritated is the fact that Mojalove felt so comfortable with broadcasting, and the nation feels like they are condoning or advertising GBV murmur situationship, you dig? So naman doesn't it in naman doesn't in, but this is basically the whole situationship of the whole reaction review of what was happening on this episode. Okay, if I left anything, guys, I'm not an expert of murmur situationship, but let's talk down below. Let's talk. What do you think? Did you watch the episode? Guys, let me know what you think in the comment sections below. Until next time, don't forget to thumbs up this video, subscribe to my channel. I am Patience Vegan on all my social media accounts. Make sure you do follow me there. Bye.